think that this is, in some ways, the blueprint for how democracy ends up getting lost.
Democrats actually do redistricting the correct way. Republicans do it the way they do it. If you believe that there is a law, please tell me, because we just had the Voting Rights Act gutted. So please tell me what law.
I want to jump into a CNN panel further breaking down the egregious attempt by Texas Republicans to racially gerrymander their state, suppress the minority voting power, and, erode democracy, something that Republicans have long been trying to do and the left has long been warning about. So if you can, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton. It gets us out there in the algorithm, and let's jump right into the content.
I think that this is, in some ways, the blueprint for how democracy ends up getting lost in 2026. I have never believed that Donald Trump was going to do something like cancel the midterms. What the goal in these next couple of years is going to be is to shape in subtle ways who turns out to vote in 2026 and 2028 and change the electorate to ensure that the Republicans are able to lock in illegitimately majority power going forward.
Is that what's at stake here, Batya?
Well, first of all, gerrymandering is one of those things that everybody does. Like, the idea that Donald Trump made this up is, I think, kind of insane. I don't think you really think that.
Let's start by dispelling this both sides nonsense that MAGA always does when they know they've lost any issue, because it's always Democrats bad and evil until they're caught, and then it's both sides, even when it's like the both sides are like this. Like, never let them get away with this. The most gerrymandered states are all Republicans. There are 12 Republican states in which Democrats hold no seats. Republicans picked up 23 seats due to gerrymandered maps in 2024. That's compared to 7 by Democrats. If you're wondering, that is a 300% difference. Multiple Democrat states use independent commissions. Not all of them. Not all Democrat states are perfect, but many of them do. They draw these fairly off the census. What a lot of MAGA will do is point to Democrat states with large Democrat majorities in their Congress, and they'll say that's gerrymandered because they don't understand what gerrymandering is. And it's funny because MAGA's best example is Illinois, of which wouldn't be a top 5 gerrymandered state on the Republican side, but of course so bad and comparable to Republicans doing it in multiple states. And the importance there is that every Democrat supports a federal gerrymandering ban. Republicans block it every time it gets brought up as a bill. And it's because they benefit more than Democrats do. It's literally that simple. They suppress voters on racial grounds. Also a lot different than what is seen in Democrat states. It's evil, and it's the exact destruction of democracy we warn about on this channel.
That's not really what's happening. Gerrymandering, to your point, is as American as apple pie. Right. Like I have always just said that Democrats actually do redistricting the correct way. Republicans do it the way they do it. For a long period of time, for the past 20, 30, 40 years, you've had an unholy alliance between the Republican Party and the Congressional Black Caucus. And usually it's state Black Caucus legislators who seed Black members get as many Black members from white Republicans as they can, and white Republicans give as many as they can, and it makes these competitive districts go away. It is the most unsexy thing in the American political spectrum. That's what happens. And when that occurs, you have these districts that are 30, 40, 45, 55% African American, and you have these districts that are overwhelmingly white Republican districts. And you cannot, it's only one in a primary.
Yeah, no, it's really simple. And even when there are ethnic majorities, you can see where they're being suppressed. The ethnic power is being suppressed in some of the districts that are being matched with others in the way that Bakari really intelligently put it, because of how they can caucus these things. But of course, MAGA has to swoop in with a low IQ, non-analogous thing that sounds smart to people who don't really know anything of what they're talking about. In many districts, they are quite literally being drawn on the grounds of race, right? Like the ethnic minority votes liberal. So, we can squish them in with a larger white conservative population. Thus, their voting power for the time is completely suppressed. They'll never overtake the majority. And if anything changes, we'll redraw the map when that happens. Democrats, again, use commissions, the overwhelming majority. This is how it should be done federally. And their maps, because of this, hold up in court, even with Republican judges. Meanwhile, Republicans pack the courts with conservative judges. That way, contested maps are never really contested, which is, again, why we see things like them suppressing minority voting power en route to 23 additional congressional seats compared to 7 for the Democrats. they wouldn't even have the majority right now if it wasn't for gerrymandering.
If you believe that there is a law, please tell me, because we just had the Voting Rights Act gutted. So please tell me what law, particularly in the South, prevents this from happening. And I just want to one bit of it, like I was in the General Assembly in South Carolina when we drew these lines. And so I've actually seen these lines be drawn. And what I'm absolutely telling you is places like Tim Scott's old South Carolina 1st District, right? Where he ceded black voters to Jim Clyburn. That's exactly what he did. It made Jim Clyburn's district more African American. It made Tim Scott's district more white so that people would vote for them.
So how do you change that? Do you change it by running away and delaying the process another 30 days? No, you change it by having independent,
non-elected commissioners vote on it.
But that's not what's happening. They're running away. They're literally fleeing to.
Really simple. Democrats need to draw up maps in every single Democratic state in which they have the majority, in which every single seat after the midterm will be controlled by Democrats. Every seat up for election in a blue state should go to a Democrat because of gerrymandering. Literally, if these people want to destroy democracy, we should play ball at that point and force them to ban it. Stop going high and letting them go low. Draw up Illinois to remove the 3 GOP seats, California to remove theirs, New York theirs. It's so annoying to me that we even have to discuss this issue with people who only care in so much that they can go both sides, right? They don't actually care about the issue, because if they did, they would have to concede that Republicans abuse it far greater than Democrats. And it's not even comparable. Again, both gerrymandering and court packing here, but it's how you erode democracy. It's what the left warned about. It's not like Trump's gonna ban elections. He's gonna do exactly this. Another reason MAGA can't admit it, because they were so smug about how Trump won't do this, and to admit it is to admit they were wrong. But we're dealing with people who have little to no morals, little to no ethnic principles to stop them from cheating, and that's why we should stop pretending that they're going to like we can just logic them into understanding. We should just cheat where they cheat, gerrymander every blue state until these losers sign a federal gerrymander ban, and stop blocking it every time, like they have every time in the past when Democrats have tried to block this very thing, just so they can do it and then turn around and go, well, Democrats do it too. 23 seats to 7.